In a city that never sleeps, dreams are built from nothing and turned into empires. Welcome to the Empire State of Mind podcast, where entrepreneurs rise. Hi, everyone. My name is Diana Burgos, and I am your host for Empire State of Mind. So welcome, guys. This is my first official podcast. And so I want to first thank you for joining and tuning in. I really appreciate it. This is something that's been in the works for quite some time. I want to say about a year or so. And I was trying to figure out how to do it, when to do it. And in my course of my personal development journey, which I'll share a lot on this podcast, I figured out that there's no perfect time. There's not a perfect day or time or feeling. You just got to freaking do it. Okay. And so here I am filming my first podcast, and I'm super, super excited. So, Empire State of Mind, you're probably wondering what the hell is this about? And so basically it's going to highlight entrepreneurs from every walk of life, from startup business owners to moguls, which I hope to get into later on in my journey, to meet some amazing people. I've already met some amazing entrepreneurs, and I just want to keep expanding. And so this space is basically to highlight them and to get to know them at a personal level, like what got them to become entrepreneurs, to do their own thing, to literally be the trailblazer for what they're doing and creating their life in their own terms as they see fit, right? And so a little background about me, I started my journey about 2 years ago in 2023. I was a school social worker for many years, and I worked in child protection and just basically in the social work field, right? And as I started to look at my life and where I wanted to go, I really felt like I was stuck, right? So I don't know if you want to call it perimenopause or midlife crisis. I don't know, whatever it was. But I just felt like I needed to have an honest conversation with myself. And those of you who know me and know my story, pardon me as I share again, but for those of you who don't know me, just to give you context, I separated from my 10-year marriage to my ex-husband. I have 2 kids. They're ages 7 and 8, 2 boys. And so they're like everything to me. And about 2 years ago, I started this journey, right, of like where I want to pivot. Like, what do I want my life to look like? What is it that I want to do? And I started like answering those questions, but I realized that my life did not reflect that at all. And so I felt like I was like shortchanging myself. I was like low key scamming myself. I was an imposter of my own life, and I wanted to lead with authenticity, right? But with that came so many things that I had to learn, and I'm still learning. So it's a never ending process. And as I'm still navigating through being my own boss and doing things on my terms, creating my own income streams, right? I am like, how do these people do it? Like, how did they get here? Like, how did they go from point A, like just being a thought, to like where they're at now, right? And sometimes, we hear their stories and, we get inspired. But I want to create a platform where we get to the nitty gritty. Like, I'm going to dig deep, okay? I'm going to give you the tea. And so some of these people I already know. They're near and dear friends of mine. Some of them are my mentors, my coach, people that I've, met along this journey. And so, yeah, I'm going to light this podcast up with some real deep talk about everyone's journey. And what I learned also about entrepreneurship is that it is a spiritual journey. It is like a coming home to yourself, because in those times of adversity, when nobody's clapping for you, nobody's validating you, nobody gives a crap about you, how do you move through those days? How do you keep that motivation? How do you continue to stay in your sovereignty, right? And continue your mission and the vision that you wanted to create. And so for me, I just wanted to do something that felt more aligned to me. I wanted to remember who I was. And as I started questioning that, I didn't know what the hell or who I was at first. I was like, oh, I don't know. Fuck around and find out, right? And so, but the journey has been so beautiful. And I want to also share that with you guys, right? Like, and I'm sure that the people I'm going to interview are going to have similarities in their journey. And so I am completely honored to have been given this drive and this thought, this desire to do this, because I just have so many like good things, for it. And I wanted to create that safe space where people can be themselves and come here and have a real talk about their struggles, their journeys, their success, like all of it, right? Sometimes in social media we only get to see the end product, ta-da, and all is beautiful and grand, but there's a lot of layers to that. And so my hope is that I get to unravel all those things so that one, we feel connected to one another, like, oh, they're just like me, right? Two, get inspired. And three, remember who the hell you are, because we are all here to share our talents, our gifts. And if nobody's going to do it, then who would? So thank you once again for tuning in. I will announce who will be coming, who will be my first guest soon. I'm so excited. And it's someone that is near and dear to my heart. I've known this couple for a very long time, and she already knows she's going to appear on here, but I'm sure she's going to freak out. But can't wait to show you and, speak to her with you guys, and him and her. And yeah, let's get this thing started. So thank you once again and stay tuned. Love you guys.